Hello, this is Professor Tylek. I'm contacting you to give you some updates. First of all, the quiz is open. It will be open till this Sunday, 9 o'clock, 25 questions, same format as previous quiz. I would recommend that you print out the nutrient food label that I had given you a link in the PowerPoints to the information site on the web. If you print that label out, I think it's going to help you tremendously in answering some questions. In addition, I also provided you a link in the PowerPoints to a self-quiz for understanding the food label. I think it's important that you complete that as well before you begin the test on chapters 3 and 4. I did want to go over the homework assignment. A couple of the assignments that I was beginning to grade were not submitted correctly, and again, you've got until Sunday to make revisions to your homework assignment. I will accept the final version that's submitted. So if you view this information and you realize that you submitted incorrect documents, I want to give you an opportunity to submit the correct ones. In the homework number 2 direction sheet, I want to be clear. You were to have recorded and used these sheets 3 to 5 days of your diet last week. Some of the students were actually recording in eggs, milk, toast for breakfast, lunch, dinner, but you were submitting this form as a PDF without having followed the directions and recorded this information in diet analysis. You cannot just submit this grid. This is used for you to remember the foods that you ate during the day. All of this has to be transferred into diet analysis. Once you have inputted that information into the track diet section of diet analysis and completed at least 3 days, you would then go to the report section. As listed in the directions, you would then go to the 3-day average and select the 3 days that you believed were most reflective of the diet that you actually consumed on those days. So I'm just arbitrarily going back to 3 days that I had used. When you print a PDF, you are going to save this. And again, as I stated before, this PDF could be anywhere from 18 to 24 pages. At the beginning, it's going to give you your personal profile. You move down, it gives you your nutrient ranges, recommended, and also what you actually consumed. Your fat intake. This gives you your saturated, unsaturated, and trans fat. The intake versus goals report. Choose My Plate report. How closely did you come to the Choose My Plate guidelines that have been set up by the FDA? Then, actually, diet analysis breaks down the 3 individual days so you can see on each day what your nutrient intake was. Finally, disclaimer for vitamin A and vitamin E is also listed. This report should be submitted in and saved to your desktop, and then that is what is submitted in your homework Dropbox. In addition, at the end of the homework assignment, there were 7 questions that should be answered on a separate sheet. You could actually record the answers to these questions right on the space provided, and you could submit this page either as a PDF or a Word document, also as an attachment. So I would expect 2 attachments. One would be the copy of the 3-day report from diet analysis, and the second attachment would be an answer to these 7 questions, which is a reflection of your intake. So when I actually enter and go into the homework grading section, I then should be able to see, I'll just pull up actually a student submission. Okay, and again, this student just submitted the intake versus goals. So there's quite a few of you that did not submit the correct assignment. This is going to give you enough time to go back and resubmit. And I also want to urge to all of the students, when you're submitting this information into diet analysis, please take the time to make sure that these diets are reflective of what your normal 3-day intake is. And again, one of the questions I asked you, if your diet is under the recommended daily amounts, why? I know for some of you it might be easy just to throw in, okay, I'm going to throw in a Whopper, I'm going to throw in something. All of our subsequent assignments, all of our future assignments are a personal reflection on how you can improve your diet. If you make up information and just submit it, the next 5 homework assignments are not at all going to be reflective of how you can improve your personal diet. Final thing, I sent each of you an access code to the CourseSmart, which is a resource for you to study for all future tests. You need to put that code in this area, submit, and you will then be taken to the course code site. Now, I personally don't have a course code, or a CourseMate program, but I do have actually a CourseMate for one of my other textbooks. When you submit that, you will be taken to a site for Nutrition Now, which is actually very similar to this CourseMate site, and you are going to have full access. For each chapter, you can pull down and select a chapter from the textbook. So this is chapter 2 of the textbook that I'm using for another class. Crossword puzzles, flashcards, a tutorial quiz, sample quiz, diet analysis exercises, nutrition portfolios, case studies. It'll help you tremendously, and this is a resource that normally costs $97 that the publishers agreed to provide to us for free. You really are missing out if you are not using this additional resource for each of the chapters that you're assigned. I guarantee that your quiz grades will be tremendously improved if you also plan on, after reading each chapter, going to the CourseMate to see if you understand the information. Okay, please, again, contact me well before Sunday. I know last learning module, 2 hours before the learning module ended, I got 5 emails from students saying they hadn't even begun to log into diet analysis. And subsequently, I think some of those students may have dropped the course, but it just does not give me enough time to help you. And also, you're assuming that 2 hours before the deadline that I would be checking online. Please make any critical contacts to me by today after hearing this that you might have, or questions that give me enough time to help you with the answer. Okay, again, the homeworks and the quizzes that I'm receiving, many of them have been extremely successful, but I am very concerned with the homework number 2 that some of you are not submitting correct assignments at all, and it'll be very difficult for me to give you a grade.